All right. Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to our BAM session. Today, I wanted to talk about the three main sources of leads. Here we are at the beginning of 2026. Lead generation is at the very core of the very most important things that you can do for your business. And a lot of people go to a brokerage because they think, for one thing, the brokerage often promises leads, so they go to whichever brokerage seems to promise the most leads. And so, not all brokerages are honest when they talk about leads. And some of you know that. You went to a brokerage, they promised leads, no leads. They gave their leads out to the favorite agents that they had. There are two or three of those in the brokerage. They got all the leads. So we don't do that. We've got several systems for leads. Everyone has equal access to leads. In At the very basis, we recommend that you sign up for leads from each of the 12 lead generation companies that we have a partnership with. So go to the Plum Tree businesscenter.com, sign up for leads in there. And Abby, when she put that website together, she has one page that's just for leads. So now you won't be able to get leads from all of them because some of them have certain criteria, but I would recommend signing up for leads from as many of those as possible. Okay. So that's at the base level. But in general, I wanted to talk, I want you to have the best year ever in your real estate. So I wanted to talk about lead generation in general, because this is the most important skill that you can learn as a real estate agent, how to get leads. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you. For today, I want to talk about the three sources for all leads, okay? So there's really three simple places where these leads are going to come from. This isn't rocket science, and if you organize this in your mind to understand where leads come from, it will really be helpful. The first category of where leads come from has to do with basically people you know. Okay, these are people you know. This would have to do with your sphere of influence. This has to do with maybe people in your social media, people that you've known for years, might be friends, relatives, maybe coworkers, possibly previous coworkers. These are people that you know. This is going to be a great. This is the category where you want your leads to come from, because these people already trust you. Hopefully, if they already know you, they already trust you. Maybe if they already know you, they already don't trust you. But that's another conversation. But in general, people who know you, they're going to trust you the quickest. Grandma is going to trust you much quicker than somebody else's grandma, right? Some person that you've never met. So this is an important category for leads, people that you know. The second category is people you don't know. Okay. So you have people you know, but then there's people you don't know. The people you know, this is going to come through relationships that you've already formed. People you don't know, this is going to come through prospecting. So trying to find people that you don't know. Now, I know in the very beginning of my business, I really focused hard on the relationships and the people that I know. And that took me about 2 weeks to get through all the people that I knew. And, I was telling everyone, hey, I'm a real estate agent now. I've got my license. If you know anyone looking to buy or sell, send them my way. And, I would do that a bunch on social media in different ways. And eventually people were like, yeah, we get it, Chris. You're a real estate agent. You've already told us 50 times. I get it. So at some point, you have to transition from the point where you're selling houses to people you know. You have to be able, if you want to hit the highest levels, you somehow have to figure out how are you going to sell a house to people you don't know. Okay. And that's going to come through prospecting, especially in the early days of your business. You're going to have to be more intensive on prospecting. So if you're making less than the amount of money that you wish you could be making in real estate, the chances are you're going to have to focus more to this prospecting category. Okay. So the third area of leads comes from people who know you. Okay. So this is visibility. So you have people you know, and then you have people you don't know, but then you have people who know you. you still don't know these people, but they know who you are. It's kind of fun after a while because you'll be out to a restaurant or something like that, and people come up and say, "Hey, I think I know you. You're a real estate agent, right?" And you know when that happens, then you know your marketing and all those things are working because people who know you, this is going to come through marketing and this is going to come through high public exposure, maybe through social media, maybe social media ad campaigns, maybe it comes through billboards or park benches or the baskets at Kroger with your name on it. But you're getting your name out there one way or another, so people begin to know you. This is a good reason to have perhaps your picture on your signs. Obviously, having your name on your signs is important, but some people have their picture on their signs because it increases their visibility. I've heard that your picture is the logo that no one else can reproduce. Your face is your logo. Our human brains remember faces much better than we remember words or even logos. We remember faces. So the more people see your face out there in the public, the higher visibility that you'll have. So for people you know, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to come up with a database, to have a database. And I've said this many times, but if you don't have a database, if you don't have an organized list of people you know, then this really isn't a profession for you. This is more of a hobby. Okay, and we want this to be a profession. So to be professional, you've got to organize the list of people that you know. This may be through, it could be through a CRM like Bold Trail that we provide for our agents, but it might be a spreadsheet. It could be just a piece of paper and you keep track of it, or maybe it's a whiteboard, or maybe it's some sticky notes. But you've got to organize at the highest level possible for your skill set a list of everybody that you know. Okay. And then prospecting. I would encourage you, if you're not making as much money as what you would like to be making, set up a plan for prospecting over the coming year. Okay. So this has to do with lead generation. So you're prospecting, you're reaching out to people you don't know, making calls, and I know how hard that is. That's one of the hardest things in business is calling people that you don't know, especially if it's cold calling. Now, the lead generation companies that we provide through our Plum Tree Business Center, those are warmer calls because those people have actually inquired about a property. So when you call them, it's not like they're completely unaware that a realtor is going to call them. They've already filled out a form. They're anticipating it. So that's to me one of the lowest hanging fruit is people who have inquired about a property. You don't know these people, but give them a call. Okay. But then you have other types of prospecting. So maybe it's going to be reaching out to for sale by owners, or maybe reaching out to expireds. Those are two of the best strategies because you know those people are already they already have indicated that they want to sell their house. So the only thing I would say there is just be careful when you're cold calling not to call someone who's on the do not call list. Okay, as we've mentioned before, there's huge penalties that can come up if you call someone on the do not call list. So do it right. Make sure you screen the calls, and the best way to do that is find companies that provide those leads for expireds or for sale by owners or any of these other leads. Make sure that company scrubs their leads. Okay. And most of them will give you a list that shows these are the prospects that you can call. These are on the do not call list. These are not on the do not call list. And in general, that's going to eliminate about half of the leads, but then you still have a lot of leads left that you can reach out to. So that's if you're calling people that you don't know, okay? Now, people who know you, you get to this level by expert level marketing, okay? So it isn't that you're just cold calling people. What you want to do is create such a massive market presence. You want to have a ubiquitous presence in the market. That means everywhere people go, they're seeing your name, they're seeing you all over the place. So you want to create this, and this is really the long game. Okay, this isn't going to create quick business, but over time it'll create massive business. So this can come through, maybe they call it farming a neighborhood. Pick a neighborhood where you want to do business, send them a mailer every month and give them content. Don't just ask them for their business, but give them content. Maybe tell them about the value of their house. Give them tips for what to do with their home during the winter to increase value in the spring. Just providing value, big marketing campaigns, social media. Through our Bold Trail software, you can have massive social media campaigns. We have agents that are using their boost post for listings. When they get a listing, they boost it through Bold Trail on social media, and they're getting tons of leads for not that much money. So, but here's the thing: if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, it's going to take time to learn how to do these things. You have to learn how to build a database to strengthen your relationships. You have to learn how to prospect. You have to learn how to get those leads that you can call. And you have to learn, how do I set a script that's going to help me say the right things when I'm on that call. If you want increased visibility so people know you and they're calling you, and this is the very best way to build your business, so they're calling you rather than you having to call them. But this is going to take a time of learning. Perhaps you'll need to learn how to advertise on social media through our software. Maybe you'll have to learn other ways to advertise. You'll have to become an expert on lead generation. You need to become an expert on marketing. That's part of being an entrepreneur. So, we're not looking for you to be, you didn't get into this business just to be an Avon salesperson or a Tupperware salesperson. You got into this to sell one of the most expensive investments that people ever make. So the stakes are high, but the rewards are high. And if you'll take time to really become a business person, to learn how to do prospecting, to learn how to keep your database, to learn how to market, then you'll have an unlimited lead flow. But all this takes time, okay? And so we're in January right now. You could set a plan right now for developing lead flow from each of these three categories. And that's what I would do. I would take time to sit down and have some think time, okay? I would think through, how can I reach out to the people that I know? What can I do? And come up with 3 ideas. Maybe use ChatGPT to help you in that strategizing session. And then people you don't know, come up with some ideas for how can you prospect with people that you don't know, and start to come up with a plan. And again, reach out to ChatGPT or other AI programs to help you with that. And then visibility. Come up with a plan. How can I become more visible so that I have a ubiquitous presence in the market? What can I do to become more visible so people see me everywhere? And again, guess what? You might want to check with ChatGPT for ideas and planning for that. You can set up, if you think of these 3 buckets of leads, these are the 3 areas where you'll get leads. You can come up with a full-blown marketing plan to fill your pipeline with business over the upcoming year. Well, we'll go ahead and call it a wrap. And if you have any questions for any of us, we're always happy to help you. Reach out. Texting tends to be the quickest way to reach our leadership team, I believe. So send us a text and go out, hit your 3 lead buckets, set up a plan, sit down, spend some think time today to think about how are you going to get leads in your bucket for people you know, people you don't know, people who know you. how are you going to find those leads? So take some think time and strategy time. But if you point your boat in the right direction now, it's going to make a massive difference in the months ahead. So, all right, well, have a fantastic week. Go out there, sell a house, make some money.